Howdy, y'all, and welcome to an episode of hold on, almost live in the oil field, Pumpjack Picking. I live in the oil field of my town. The southern part of my town is an oil field. You know, it's an old one. I don't produce as much anymore, but, there's a ton of wells back here. If you look on OCC well data finder, it crashes. So, that's enough, I guess. Anyway, I hope y'all have had a great day. I hope it gets better if you didn't. Hope this makes it better and you forget all those bad things that happen in the world. Those horrible things. But I got some riddles for y'all. What's found on the ground, but it's never dirty? You think about that for the show. What has keys but doesn't open a door? This one's an easy one, so you better get that one. What's bought by the yard and worn by the foot? This one's a little harder, and there's probably more than one answer. Here's the other one. What has 13 hearts and no other organs? All right, I'll tell you all those at the end of the show, so you got to stay, or you could skip to it if you're an idiot and you're stupid. Anyway, I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want. I don't care, but I'm going to play y'all some bluegrass. You saw I got the banjo out. I got the banjo out today, so we're going to play some bluegrass. And it may not sound good, but that's all right because I haven't warmed up much. So let's start out with some Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Oh, I got a new watch, by the way. It's an Apple Watch. I'm trying it out. I don't know if I'll stay with it. It's been pretty good so far, except for the battery's at 18%. Anyway, I should better get to playing before y'all leave. I've never tried to play it like that with those extra fills, or that's the first time ever. I feel like I did pretty good for a first time trying that. I'm experimenting still with all my banjo picking. I like that. I like that. I'm going to keep that. Anyway, I've just been trying to get a better banjo picker and learn licks and stuff. Just by watching these guys like Earl Scruggs, of course, and Lardo off the Morin Brothers, because I love his banjo sound. I try to learn like him, so I've been watching him and trying to kind of peek close at his videos. I got their hat a little over a week ago. I hope it arrives soon. So I bought it last Tuesday, and it's Wednesday now for the next week. So, it's been 8 days. I'm just waiting on it. I hope it gets here soon because I want to wear it. Anyway, yeah, I've just been practicing with those licks and stuff, working on my song. You want to see something I learned a minute ago? especially this. I can do that same thing on guitar. That's pretty cool. Anyway, just playing around with these things, you learn a lot. Banjos aren't really hard to play. You think speed's the hard part. Speed's not the hard part for me. It's all this stuff right here. This is hard. Speed. This is comfortable. I mean, I can talk over this all day. Speed is not the hard part about playing banjo. And that may just be a me thing. Speed is not hard to do on a banjo. It sounds fast, but it really isn't. Like some of Earl Scruggs recordings, he doesn't even play that fast. Some of them, not a lot of them he plays, pretty fast. But some of the Foggy Mountains, I've seen him play. That's comfortable. That's a comfortable speed. My comfortable is that. It's comfortable. It's not hard. It's not even playing slow on banjo is hard, honestly. I make more mistakes playing slow than I do playing fast. Unless I'm just That's one of my songs I did a long time ago. That off of Leroy Troy, except this is one of them close back fancy banjos, and it's pretty heavy. I couldn't swing it around like he does, Grandfather's clock, Which I can play Grandfather's clock, not like him. I play it my own way. I kind of made it up. This was one I was learning, so I only use these two fingers when I play it. But, Grandfather's clock's always been a pretty song to me. And in fact, it was my favorite song for a while there, especially like the Moran Brothers version of it was my favorite, and he capos up pretty high some of the time. And at first I thought that was how he made his banjo sound so much different, but it's not. He plays it not so high, and his banjo, just something about it, it's different. It's not the banjo itself, because I've seen him play on multiple banjos, two or three different ones. I don't know what it is about his banjo. But, he plays real high and all kinds of stuff. Talking about Grandfather's clock, it reminded me of a story of this guy that had a grandfather clock, and the thing weighed it was one of those big grandfather clocks. So it weighed at least 100, 200 pounds. It was a big, heavy grandfather clock. And this guy, he was clearing out his grandpa's house because his grandpa died, and it was his grandfather's clock. And he was clearing it out. And then he dropped a clock. And it chimed real weird. It was like, he's like, oh. Glass shattered and everything, and it was chiming, He was chiming real weird like that anyway. You know, and guy comes running out of the house screaming. And his brother was there helping him clean out, who was loading up the truck. He's like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? You dropped the clock. I know, it's all right. It's not that big of a deal." And the brother goes up to him and he says, "Well, I'm pretty sure when I heard that grandfather's clock, I heard Grandpa's singing voice. I think he's possessed." Anyway, that's a stupid story of the day, I guess. So let's play that. Let's play some Grandfather's Clock for you. I made that story up on the spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. Give me 1 second. Yellow. I'm playing banjo on the channel. We're recording right now. Say hi.
Hi.
I don't know if they heard you anyway. She says hi. What do you need, Mama?
Okay, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Have fun.
I will. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you more, Mama. Bye. That's my mama. I love her. Mamas are amazing. I'm trying to write a good song about Mama on banjo. Don't tell her I said that. Anyway, let's play that. Let's play some Grandfather's Clock for you. Anyway, that's grandfather's clock. You know, my grandfather's clock was too loud for the ship. If you never heard it, you look that up. The Moron Brothers or Leroy Troy's version. It sounds cool too, but it's instrumental like how I was playing it. Anyway, you know, that's just a fun song. I like that song. It sounds good. But I feel like doing a song I actually wrote myself, and I think I've only played it once, and it was when I first came up with the idea, so it sounded like crap. I haven't worked on this one that much, you know. I haven't worked on this song that much. It's about trains. That's pretty much what I have to tell you. Yeah, it's a song about trains I'm writing. I don't have a name for it or anything. So if you have a name idea, shoot in the comments, I guess. But this is a train song I've been writing. I saw this trick on the Facebook on the head. And it really sounds like a train. And I was thinking, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, I gotta get out another accessory for this song. Trying to learn Orange Blossom Special, but I'm not gonna play it for you this episode. I haven't learned it really yet. Anyway, I don't have a name for this song, but it's about trains. And I really haven't worked on. I need to work on the run through for y'all. There's one part and I kind of struggle on, but anyway, I wrote this song and I'm gonna play it for you. That's a fun one. I'm still working on it, if you could tell. I mean, I'm not close to being done with that one. It's pretty fun, though. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah. I think it matches the kind of just the sound of it. For me, it matches a train vibe. I gotta play that at school. I'm gonna take this banjo to school soon, probably next week or something like that. I gotta play that one for him. He likes trains. Anyway, all these songs like that are just really, they're fun songs to play. I enjoy playing them for people, and I think most people enjoy them. Or at least they don't want to say anything to me. Probably the second option. I'm pretty annoying. If you couldn't tell. But anyway. Last episode. Actually, I got a little story now I'm thinking about it. There were these two families that were feuding with each other. Or dueling, I guess you could say. But feuding is much better word. That's my drum set, my bad. Anyway, this family was feuding with each other. Boy, they hated each other. They shot at each other every day. Every single day. They would go out on their back porches and shoot at each other. From the one lived on top of the hill, one lived on the bottom of the hill. And then they got the sheriff out there one of these days, and they're like, "Why are you guys fighting?" And one said, "Well, it's because that guy throws trash on my yard." And he watched the other guy ask the same question. He says, "Why don't you like that guy?" He's like, "That guy throws trash on my yard." And then they tells them to both meet in the middle with no guns. So they do. He says, I don't think you guys are throwing trash on each other's properties. It looks like that's your trash. And they said, well, it was my trash, but then he wrote his name on it. And then he said, no, it was my trash. You wrote your name on it. And they kept arguing about that. And the sheriff finally stops their bickering. And he says, all right, why don't we shoot each other right now? Shoot each other right now. And finish this feud once and for all. So, they grab their guns. They go out. And he says, 10 paces, each of you. And they, are staying back to back, walking their 10 paces. And then when both of them reach 10, they both run as fast as they can. And they both duck at about the same time. And the sheriff's he's just like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, well, son, he fired, but I guess he missed. And then they both look back and they're both laying on the ground. And they're like, well, who fired the gun? And the sheriff's holding the gun in the air. That's about it. That wasn't a funny one, but I just remembered it. I don't remember who told me that one. I may have came up with it on my own. I have some crazy dreams and stuff like that. But anyway, I said I was going to play this on my promo next episode, so I might as well play it for y'all. tried that. I saw Leroy Troy do it, though. That's funny right there. Anyway. I never done it right, though. Well, I messed it up a little bit. That's the point of music, though. You try your own stuff and do whatever you want, mess up, and it's, oh well, I messed up. But, you know, that's the real point of music. Just have fun with it. That's kind of what I'm doing here. But I think on banjo, that's all I want to play for y'all before I run out of stuff to play for y'all. I was telling my buddies a story earlier. Two of them didn't get it for a minute. One did. He thought it was pretty funny, but two of them didn't. So there's this. I heard this one in the Moore Brothers. So sorry, Lardo and Burley, but I'm kind of stealing from y'all a tiny bit. There was this. There's this sheriff that pulled over these guys in this old 59 Apache pickup truck. You know, it's the 235 inline 6 in it. He says, "What's wrong, officer? I wasn't speeding. I can't speed in this thing." And he chuckles to himself a little bit, making a joke, you know. Sheriff's like, you know, a little bit of a fake laugh because he doesn't think it's that funny. But he'll play along. Just be nice, you know. Southern hospitality. But he says, "Well, sir, I pulled you over because your taillight's out." And the guy sitting in the Chevy Apache, he's his eyes widening like this, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And he's running out to the back of the truck, and he's like, "Oh no, this can't be happening. This can't be," like he's hyperventilating and stuff. And the sheriff's running over to him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And, you know, he's trying to calm him down. "What's wrong, sir?" Kind of nervous, thinking he's crazy. It's like, "It's just a broken taillight. It's not that big of a deal." And he says, "It may not be that big of a deal to you, but that means I lost a travel trailer, my wife, 4 kids, and my dog." And he starts crying on the corner. That's basically it. And they find him a few hours later. And it turns out that when he had attached the trailer, he had attached the trailer to the wrong truck. So he went back down the road trying to find him, and it was on the wrong truck. This part I'm adding on right now. He had actually attached it to the wrong truck. But he found a crashed camper, and that was on his truck, and it was actually the other family's. And he's like, yeah, we're just not going to say anything about that. And then he finds his family and gets them back. The guy driving that truck's like, "Oh, where'd my family go?" He says, "I don't know. I didn't put them there." But in that crashed travel trailer, they found a piece of a broken taillight. So the reason his taillight was out was because of that family. Well, because they realized they were in the wrong truck, they said, and apparently they recovered from the wreck. They were all fine, and they were saying, "Wait a minute," and they realized they were in the wrong truck when they said, "Our truck doesn't go this slow." Sorry, 235 inline 6, but you're slow as can be. But anyway, it's time for me to get these riddles on before y'all leave, because I'm sure that's the only reason you're watching this far anyway. What's found on the ground, but it's never dirty? Give you a second to think about this. Found on the ground, ain't ever dirty. A shadow. Alright, next one. What has keys and that don't open no doors? Yeah, no. Before I answer this one, I got a little story. It's a short one. I have back problems, as some people that know me know. And I went to the doctor for him. And he said, "Why is your back hurting you?" And I said, "Well, I played a marching band." He's like, "Marching band? What do you play? You play them big quad toms?" I was like, "No, I played grand piano." Anyway, that's all I gotta say. It's piano, if you didn't guess. What is bought by the yard and worn by the foot? This was a hard one. I'll give you a second to think about that. What's bought by the yard and worn by the foot? A carpet. What has 13 hearts and no other organs. A deck of cards. All right, that's about it for today. So let's close out in prayer. That'll be it. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity you give people, and people like me and people not like me. And I hope that everyone watching this video just forgot the horrible things going on in the world and just spurred them, made them smile a little bit maybe. And everyone that watches these videos, they just have a blessed day from you, Lord, and they get your salvation. And everyone that don't believe in you, they'll be on their knee to you one day, Lord. And I hope they understand that and they go to your arms, Lord. And I love you, and in Jesus' name pray. Amen. All right, well, that's about it. I still have a little bit of a cough. That's about it. So God bless y'all, and y'all have a blessed day. God bless y'all.